the United States of America.
No, you're not going to say
midnight.
when Scarlett was just crying in the middle
were,
of New York.
Everything was amazing. Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A.
We were eating junk.
It stank of weed.
Would we go back to the United States?
I have no idea. Hello and welcome back to the Dare to Venture podcast with your host, me, Chris.
And me, Tamira.
This is episode number 5. We came back from the darkness last week after having a little break. Thank you so much for everybody's comments, for supporting us, for hitting that subscribe button here on YouTube or over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're back for a brand new episode this week, and it is all about our trip to the United States.
Yes, I'm a little bit worried that we're going to get a little bit lost and dive into this because we were actually there for 8 weeks.
Yes.
And a lot did happen.
Yep.
And
we can talk and talk and talk.
And storytell and go in deep and everything. So we're going to try and keep to the actual really good, juicy bits.
Yeah, we've also got like parts to talk about that you sort of might not have seen if you watched our YouTube videos or our TikToks. So sort of like behind the scenes, a couple of things that happened that we haven't spoken about.
And how we really feel about America and if we would go back.
Yes.
So we will be talking all about that today. But first off, we always like to update you with where we are in our lives. So what is new with you? You're going first, Chris, because you absolutely suck at this.
What is new with me? I have no idea.
Oh,
you always put me on the spot every week.
Yeah, but you know
what's new with me? Oh, okay. I'm going to say one thing that's new with me.
You've got a calf injury.
No, is that new? Did I mention that last week? I don't know. Well, I'm not going to do a full injury update. It's like I'm now 38 years old.
Showing his
My
age.
body is falling apart. But by Christmas, I'm going to be on top form. I'm bringing my peak physical form back. Do not worry about that. I've got a slight calf injury. We're working through it. Everything else is feeling okay.
So just laughing.
You've also got a calf injury. We've both got calf
We've just
injuries.
got little calves running around with us.
Right, I personally think we're on the wrong side of 35. When I said this to Tamira, she had a right go at me because I said...
I didn't have a go at you. I got offended.
No,
I think this right go that you always say that I do with you. I don't have a right go at you.
The correct term is you had a pop at me.
I had nothing of the sort.
You had a pop at me.
No, I got offended, and then you overreacted that I got offended to that.
I'm also...
Like, can people just back me up right now? That if your husband said that you're on the wrong side of 35, would you get offended? I didn't have a pop.
We're jointly on the wrong side of 35.
Yes, but you said it directly to me. You dug yourself a deep hole there. You're meant to just be updating everyone on what's new with you,
anyway,
and you've just offended me yet again. And now this podcast has gone down the wrong
jointly,
way.
We're both on the wrong side of 35, and our bodies are showing that. We've got a couple of calf injuries. We're working through them, but we are going to achieve physical peak form by Christmas. Don't worry about that. Anyway, what is new with me? Nothing to do with physical body problems. We collectively as a family finally watched the Michael movie, and I'd been holding off, and I finally watched it, and I've got to give it a whopping 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it, and so did the girls.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
What do you think?
I'm just surprised that is your one massive announcement.
It was just amazing. It's just been in my head all week. I've been listening to the songs. I've been,
to be fair,
dancing around the house.
Whilst he's been doing the setup for the podcast, he has had the music on.
That's probably why it's fresh in my brain.
Yeah, it was a very good film. We did really enjoy it as a family. Had a little family buffet. It was quite nice, and I think the girls I don't know if they enjoyed the food more than the movie. I know that Bella might have just enjoyed the fact that she had unlimited fruit, which she just seemed to be covered in dragon fruit by the end of watching. And
I was as well.
but anyway,
they loved it, and we cannot wait for the second film, because I think there is going to be one eventually. So that's what's new with me. I don't think, unless my wife now tells me there are more things that are new with me.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, inform the people.
Well, it's not just meant to be about you individually. It's meant to be what's new with us. So, like, it's kind of like what's new with us. And you've just done a personal update, just talking about the Michael movie, and that you got a calf injury, and then we're on the wrong side of 35.
Okay, give us the family update.
And the family update is that your youngest daughter turned 6.
Oh yes. No, I was waiting for you to talk about that. You give the official announcement. We have a 6-year-old now who is our youngest.
Yeah, and it's absolutely crazy. I think whenever it's someone's birthday, you really do look back and you feel your emotions run a little bit higher. And we look back, and from her 5th birthday all the way up to her 6th birthday, she actually went to 6 countries.
Yes,
and
which is pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy, and it makes you realise how much we're doing. And how much she has seen and what a different life she has got to either of us growing up.
Yes.
And anyone else that I in person. Well, no, we know loads of people that travel, so I suppose.
Yeah, but for a 6-year-old,
yes,
that's pretty special.
So that was, and it's quite nice to reflect and look back and then look forward. And she's at that really yummy age that anything excites her still.
Yeah.
So like, she got her roller skates and she was so excited about those. We went to see Toy Story 5,
another movie that we watched, really good.
Yeah, that was actually really, really good. I really liked how it touched on social media, but I don't want to go down the social media chat on this podcast.
Yeah, okay. So let's keep the audience engaged. Next week we will go down our thoughts on the social media ban in the UK.
Oh no.
We'll talk about that next week.
Oh no, reel myself in. Don't start talking about it now.
If you want our opinions on that, but this is all about the USA, so we don't want to do that this week.
No, we're not doing that this week. But yes, so Bella turned 6. That was really nice. It's really, really nice to look back at how far we have come along and everything like that. And what else is new with me? Not really much. The girls are just finishing up on their online school. We've come on leaps and bounds with Bella's learning recently. Her writing sentences and everything like that is just going really, really well. We also, another really proud moment is we have our secondary YouTube channel, the Hutchinson Takeover, and Olivia, our eldest, she's 12. We've kind of put it down to her to do the pre-edit. So she does all the funky editing and everything. And our video, if you haven't watched it already, it is in the USA and we do a food challenge. And Olivia edited primarily most of it.
Yeah, I'd say 95% was edited by our 12-year-old daughter, and I'm incredibly proud.
Yes.
I do all of the editing of our long-form content, this podcast, all our YouTube videos, but now I have like a little work buddy, my 12-year-old daughter. So she's editing the Hutchinsons Takeover channel, those videos. She's editing. I'm kind of like just tidying little bits up at the end and then rendering it and posting it. Our first proper takeover video was in the US. We did all the fast foods. We tried all the US fast foods that we could. And it was really, really fun. And she edited that. So if you haven't seen that, head over to our YouTube channel, the Hutchinsons Takeover. Please hit that subscribe button and give that video a watch. And we've got another fun video coming out as well, so stay tuned.
Yeah, so I think that's more evident in my head because at the moment she's tightening up another video that we have filmed, and I'm just incredibly proud of her. And I, that's what's new with us, because to hear her talking about editing and to be really pumped up about something, because Olivia's personality can be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit laid back, and with the editing, it's really got her pumped up, and it's something
she's really passionate,
really shining through because she's really artistic, and I think this is another way for her to show.
Yeah, she's very, very good at art.
Yeah,
she's excellent at drawing, way better than either of her parents. I'm a terrible artist.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're the best. Again, don't have a pop at me. Do not have a pop at me on the channel.
Reason for
We're on the podcast. But
this is me being really reeled in.
I don't think that you're a positive. I don't think that you're a good drawer. Would you say you're a good artist?
I feel like I need to write down these points. You have said that I'm on the wrong side of 35. And that I'm having pops at you all the time, and that
this is a pop. This is a slight pop.
And that
where has the artistic side come from?
Our genes collectively together.
Together we are good drawers.
Yes.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, she's excellent at drawing, and now she's like showing the creativity with the editing. So super proud parents. we're feeling really good about that.
Feeling really good about that. And I think that is probably all that's new with us this week. I'm feeling incredibly proud of the girls. I didn't mention anything about Scarlett, and I feel like I need to mention something about Scarlett, but she's doing absolutely amazingly as normal. And I will mention her very, very quickly. She is so good at acting, and we have also added another channel on our TikTok channel, the Hutchinson Takeover on TikTok, and Scarlett is really getting to show her acting skill on that, and she wants to do the dances and picks up the dances just like that, and that's been fantastic. So there we go, we did do another one and a little plug of another little channel that we're doing. So actually at the moment, what's new with us is that we're absolutely looking at our content and changing stuff around and trying new things out. So there's lots to follow, and there's lots being filmed, and lots to think about from our end of what's new with us.
Okay, so on to the main topic, the United States of America. This is what this podcast is predominantly all about. Like Tamira said, we were there for 8 weeks in total, and it was, again, another life-changing experience of ours on this traveling journey that we're on. We've been going now for 3 full years, full time, and the US was a really huge milestone for us. We flew in from London into New York, and New York was kind of like on our girls' like main bucket list locations to go. They want to go to New York City, so that's where we started.
The girls are really, really keen on going to New York. They've seen all the movies where New York is the main thing. There's things that they wanted to do being there, and it was kind of like their moment to be tourists and saying what they wanted to go do and see. So that was really incredible. We actually didn't stay in New York. We stayed across the bridge, and we were in New Jersey, and it was a new experience for both of us, and New Jersey was actually really nice where we were staying. It was really good.
Well, the thing is we arrived at sort of potentially midnight. So I think we'd flew in, we'd landed.
Oh no, you're not going to say
midnight.
When Scarlett was just crying in the middle
were
of New York with a big bag on her back.
We were exhausted. It was central New York City on a Saturday night, and we sometimes like to challenge ourselves and try and get from the airport to our accommodation by public transport. Sometimes we kind of do that.
Well, it is a real good way to like get in to know what it's all about. You get to see the nitty gritty. You get to see how to use the subway, and you suddenly it's a fast track into knowing what you're doing. You're under pressure. You just get on with it. You go and do it. And it's normally what we do. We've done it in Japan. We've done it in South Korea. We've done it in many countries where we just arrive and we've just got on the tube and we've just done it. So we just decided that we were doing this from the airport.
It's also quite fun to do.
It is fun to do it all together. Not so jet lagged, and with lots of
like insane amounts of luggage.
And the weather was extremely cold.
Yeah.
We'd just come from the UK, which was cool, but it was a lot cooler.
It was ice cold in New York, and it was a Saturday night.
Yeah,
and we literally ended up, the first thing we did was get like this metro from the airport to Central, and we walked out, and the World Trade Center was right in front of us, so we were right in it. And then we had to then try and get the metro again. And, looking back, it probably wasn't the best time to get the metro.
No, I think we did quite well getting the metro. It was just the fact that we were going to have to get on buses, and that's always a stickler for me. The buses are a stickler for me. It's hard to get your stuff on and off.
Well, we did have 3 suitcases and bags.
But by this point, anyway, we came up by the World Trade Center, and I think like Scarlett was excruciatingly cold. Olivia was refusing to wear her coat because she didn't think it was cool enough, and Scarlett was upset because Bella was wearing Olivia's coat, and she thought that we were lost in New York, and she had a Home Alone moment where she just looked absolutely defeated, and we just ordered an Uber.
Yes, we got an Uber. Like, we kind of did half public transport, half Uber. The Uber guy was really good. He almost bust his car boot trying to get all our luggage in. I think like the back window popped out a little bit, and he just got on with it. And then obviously we stayed in New Jersey, and the accommodation when we got there, I'm not gonna lie, it sort of added to the concern in a way, because it wasn't the best area as such. I would think it was a bit shady, but we got into our Airbnb and it was really nice.
The Airbnb was really nice. The outside wasn't so nice. And I think like it made us realise that this was a bit of a shock because we've been travelling now for 3 years and we've been to numerous countries. This is our 20th. And we've just kind of like gone, we've winged it, quickly looked online and worked out what we're doing. Do as much research as we can before we get to that country. I'd researched how we were getting from the place to the Airbnb. Didn't quite work out. Went wrong. Had to get an Uber. Then we got there. The outside was pretty daunting. It was pretty crazy. Then we're starving. It was 11:30 at night, and I ordered a McDonald's via Uber, and it cost us £80.
Yes, which I think is about $100 and something.
And it was like the late night.
It was insanely
It was so expensive. We had no food in. The local shop was shut, and we had no transport because we'd just been dropped off, and we just had to pay it.
Yeah,
and I think it
was officially the most expensive McDonald's we've ever had.
Yes, and I think that it was a little bit of like warning signs. We were so excited about being there, but like the first bit didn't quite work out for us. It didn't. It was Scarlett was upset, but then the McDonald's cheered her up. But then you were upset because you were £80 down on a McDonald's. You ate it sourly.
Yeah, I did eat it sourly. It was a very expensive burger, but we're not going to go every moment by moment of this whole 8 weeks, so don't worry about that.
I think that was us just remembering.
It was a slight intro into it. We were staying in New Jersey. Yep. I was like calling it New York still. I got called out quickly that it's a complete different state, New Jersey. But we got on okay there. Lots of people kind of told us that we were staying in a rough part and it's not cool to stay in New Jersey. But we actually really got on with it.
Yeah.
And our accommodation was great. And I think we even ended up extending.
We extended staying there. We extended staying there. We were right near a food place. The bus system worked amazing.
Yeah, the NJ Transit.
Yes, so good. People were so helpful when we were struggling a little bit.
Really helpful.
Really overly helpful. We felt super safe, even though we do stick out like a sore thumb, like we do most places. But everyone was really kind.
I just want to say, we did. Surprisingly, we weren't really sure about this, but we were in a predominantly Spanish area.
Yeah.
Like everybody was speaking Spanish, and we kind of did stick out. But they were so helpful. Like one time we looked really confused trying to sort the bus out, and just some guy out of nowhere came, told us what app to download, how to get from A to B. He was just a random passerby.
Yes.
We couldn't believe the kindness straight away.
Yes.
It was really like comfortable and fun.
It was really, really, really good. But I do think like it was a bit of a sign for things to move on going forward, which we will talk about more, is we never found out the exact amount that we should be paying to get on the bus.
Yeah.
And this is an ongoing theme through America. You never know the exact amount that you're going to be paying at the end. You might know the roundabout, but by the time you actually end up paying, it will probably be more than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Each time.
Definitely. But yeah, we started off our whole journey in New York, New Jersey, and then we went on a big mammoth RV trip where we had to drive from New Jersey, and our end destination was in Dallas, Texas. We had to drop the RV off in Dallas.
But you can see already and hear already by the tone of Chris's voice that it sounds really exciting when you say it. So when we were booking it, we had a few problems went through with booking it. We were originally meant to be going from Chicago down, and it all went wrong and got
canceled. We had
canceled.
a whole complete route planned out from Chicago to Dallas, but the company that we went with, they messed up like a week before we got to America.
Yes. So whilst we were in England, we were just trying to sort it out. We finally went with this decision, and it was all exciting. It sounds really exciting, and I'm not going to lie. It cost an arm and a leg.
It cost a lot of money.
It cost a lot. It was the most we have spent on. It was more of a holiday budget that we spent on that 9 days.
I think that also with it, you kind of go with the idea that you're going to basically be driving your accommodation around, so you don't really have any accommodation fees
costs,
and you can just sleep wherever and drive. But actually you do have accommodation costs overnight when you're pulling in and staying at campsites. It was super exciting, the planning of it and the thought of doing something like that, a big American road trip in an RV, but it just turned out to be long driving days, like insanely long driving days, and quite stressful.
It was really exciting picking it up and seeing our home, and the girls were super pumped about it as well. And it was like, yeah, we'll have music on all together, and then we go to some campsites and we get to see all of these states that we're going to be driving through and experiencing them. And I think it soon and fast made us realize that the RV basically didn't run at all unless it was plugged into something and had a drainage and was connected to water. You couldn't even use the microwave.
No, unless it was hooked up to full power.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it, that was we weren't expecting that, but we were quite novices, and this is the first time ever doing it. So it might sound a bit stupid that we're saying like we were just surprised at that, because we had the plan of some nights we were staying at like in a Walmart car park or a Cracker Barrel. That was the plan, just so that we weren't paying on that night. And other nights were like, these are campsites that we have designated out that we're going to be getting to.
It was kind of like the thought process of basically going one night on, one night off.
Yes, but it kind of showed straight away, and the guy was saying it, of going, oh. And also as well, if you followed us on YouTube, you know what company we went with. I'm not going to out them on here, but we didn't get all the equipment that we had paid for.
I think a lot of our disgruntlement with the RV trip was to do with the company. I hope so. I hope that other people don't get the experience that we did. All you have to do is go watch our YouTube videos and you'll see the company we went with, because it's plastered all over the RV. But they didn't really explain much to us in a good way. They weren't really like accommodating and nice. And you could use the microwave when you're not hooked up to electric. You can actually use it, but you've got to turn on their generator, which then adds more cost at the end of the trip. It was just a bit strange.
It was a bit strange. Just going to say this as well, that I never little moan, because it's all just going to come out of me, because I'm British. I like to moan. We paid an extra amount to have the full package of having all of like the kitchen equipment, and we paid the extra to have a chairs and table set. What we received with this table and chair set was 2 bog standard camping fold up chairs and a table that was completely disgusting and needed deep cleaning. 2 chairs. We were a family of 5.
I think
we paid for the bedding set, and we got 1.5 sets, even though the RV had 3 double beds.
Quickly, Walmart became our best friend, and we
had to buy everything,
buying appliances, bedding. So that was
kettle.
That was our first experience.
I bought
Walmart.
a kettle.
We had to run into
and
Walmart.
A toaster.
Yeah, that was our first experience of Walmart. Running in straight to the appliances area and the bedding zone, but we got sorted out with that. The company, they weren't great. They did like a terrible job, and they weren't the best. But apart from that, the actual experience of driving the RV and on the roads, well, the US roads are massive, and this RV was the biggest vehicle that I've personally ever driven, and it was so loud that we couldn't even actually hear each other speak, never mind the children that were like in the back. And every time like massive American trucks would pass, and it would just completely move the RV, and I could really feel it. And some days I was driving like 7 hours, 8 hours. It was a real slog.
But there were some magical moments. We did stay in the Smoky Mountains, and it was really nice to see that the girls, because it came across like the Easter break, so there was American children there in their big RVs. Like, some people are like kitted out.
Oh, the
like,
US RVs at the RV parks. Like, the majority of the time we opted to stay at a campground. It was safer setup, family friendly toilets, because we did have a rule in the RV that there was no number 2s. Yeah, we did. just for the whole emptying experience. Although I think that would have been fine.
It would have been fine, but we made the rule and it just stuck.
We stuck with it, so we had to like kind of hold on until we hit a Walmart, or we stayed at a campground. And they were, I think it was Campgrounds of America, KOA. I think that's what they were called, and they were top class.
Yeah, they were.
We loved them, and like during the Easter break, I think we stayed at Oh, the Smoky Mountains. So as well, because of the RV and the RV tour and the way that we drove down, we probably would have never have stayed at these places without it. So the fact that we've actually stayed in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee is incredible. And we absolutely loved that site. And that was one of the places that we doubled up on. So I think we had like 1 or 2 places where we could actually stay 2 nights and still get to Dallas in time. And that was one that we extended because it was just so good.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. It wasn't just the campsite. We had s'mores. We were right near the national park. Everything like that. And I think this just draws me on to, because we don't want to talk a lot about the RV trip, because there's a lot about America that we want to speak about.
Yeah.
But the things that I kind of can see and have learned from it is when you park up at a campsite and you hook up and you kind of de-rig a little bit, you then cannot explore anywhere else without another vehicle. So when we wanted to go to the national park, it was a half an hour drive away from the campsite.
Yeah.
And lots of other people, they'd have their massive RV and then like a little vehicle that hooked up to the back of it.
I was just so impressed with the RV setup, and they were insane. Like houses on wheels, and they would often tow like a mini car behind them that they just like zipped around the local area in.
But it made complete sense, because as soon as you parked up our RV, as soon as you park up, stuff comes out of the cupboards.
Yeah.
You're using stuff straight away. And if we wanted to move a slight little bit, it's a massive D-rig
you've got
to
pack
go
up
do it
and move your whole RV.
Yeah, and also like we were 12 feet high as well. So, you know, it was a tricky situation. And I think that was a bit hard because we went through these states, including Nashville, which we will talk about a little bit as well. And we're going through the states that we really want to explore. But you have to find the right parking for the massive thing that you've got. You've then got to park it up and then go and make sure it's all okay. And then you de-rig, then you rig back up, and then you go off again. And you've got 5 or 6 hours to drive that day. Then you've got to get to these campsites at a certain time. Otherwise, you can't check in. And this was a massive thing.
Fault of ours.
No, it wasn't a fault. We just didn't realise this, that if you were going to arrive past 10 o'clock, there would be no one there to check you in.
Yeah, they just kind of shut down.
They weren't there. And you sometimes... Some of the sites, we didn't have the codes to get into the toilets. So you hook up and you think that's your place, and you hook up and you've paid for it already. And then you'd have to like try and find someone and find out the code of someone else that's staying there. And you kind of lie there at night and be like, well, I've paid to be here, but I don't know if
you feel like a criminal.
Yes.
You're like, no one here like checked us in. We've kind of snuck on here, even though we paid for it. I've just parked us up in a random bay.
Exhausted from a 7-hour drive.
You're like sleeping there thinking, is someone going to knock on the door? I would say the Americans, like, they have got it sussed. They have got insane RV setups. It looks incredible. Like living the dream. They've got little cars to get around in. They've got all the gear. Honestly, it blew my mind, and I thought it was amazing. And everybody at the campsites was so friendly, so kind. Like, I remember this one little boy, he came over to play with the girls.
Oh, I want to mention this more, though. I want to mention this more. So this is a prime example where we just kind of missed a state.
Yeah.
It was Alabama.
Yes.
And we arrived
a huge one that we really wanted to spend some time in.
We arrived at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we got to the campsite because you had to check in at a certain time. We're like, right, we know we've learnt we have to be there earlier. So we checked in, and it was on a massive national park.
Yeah, it was again
was gorgeous.
In the scenery and the surroundings were incredible.
It was phenomenal.
Yes.
And we turned up and we parked up, and it was like from the insane drive of getting there, we parked up and was like, and de-rigged a little bit. And then we couldn't rig back up and go into town and then come back in again, because I think that campsite, you couldn't even return through the coded gate past a certain time.
You were kind of there in the campsite to have a holiday for like maybe a week, and this was still in that Easter period, and so there was loads of families.
Yes, and that's why we stumbled across that gorgeous lake.
Yeah.
It was absolutely phenomenal, but we were just stuck there for that night, and you had to make sure that you had the shopping in because you parked up. You couldn't quickly nip to Walmart.
It was in the middle of this national forest park, it took ages to drive through the forest. There was no way we were getting any food. So it's a good job we did like the Walmart top up before we got there. We were fully prepared with that. But there were like families around, and there was one particular family next to us. Again, all the gear, all set up. They'd obviously had their Easter holidays there. And this little boy, he was just so sweet. He was just
Was
playing.
his name Jake?
It might have been Jace.
Jace.
Yeah.
Jace. Anyway, he was so cute. His little accent,
Yeah, his
and then
Alabama accent.
And then his sister came over, and they were like all there. And then because it was Easter, bless him, he came over and gave the girls loads of their Easter stuff.
Yeah, because like, our girls had a few little treats, but we hadn't done a full Easter morning celebration with them. And this little boy, he literally just brought over a mass amount of their Easter candies and gave them to each of the girls. And that little kid was just so sweet, and people around us, they were just really, really nice and kind and helpful. And that particular one sticks out because it was an insane location in an incredible state, Alabama, and we were so wanting to explore more, but we didn't even manage to film a YouTube video on Alabama because we had to get moving the next day. So that's something that's completely left untouched. I think we don't even include that in our 7 states.
No, we don't. But I think like it is nuts because we like the same thing kind of happened with Nashville. We like arrived. We had to quickly get out and go down Broad Street. We were just down there, which was phenomenal. We absolutely loved it. Yeah. But looking at the girls, they looked shattered because we were going to bed at like 12 o'clock after hooking up and whatever.
I think what the problem was is we had to get so far on a journey in a short amount of time.
Yes.
So we were like driving for hours against the clock, parking up late, sleeping over, getting up, packing up the next day. It was just relentless, but we still managed to get those incredible moments like Nashville, the Smoky Mountains. Like that's obviously Tennessee. Tennessee was such an incredible state and we absolutely loved it. But Nashville, for example, we got to experience Broadway and go into a honky tonk and do all that stuff. And the people around, it was incredible. They were all like wearing the cowboy gear and that was incredible. I think that was actually on Good Friday. So it's actually on a real big holiday and it was really busy. But the kids were welcomed in. It was so good. But the location where we stayed wasn't the best and we had to move on, which I don't think we spoke about in our video, but this is what this podcast is all about, a little bit behind the scenes.
Well, what happened? What happened was we were staying at the National Stadium that was there, and it's known that you can stay for free, and I double checked, triple checked, did everything. You can stay there as long as there isn't an event going on. There wasn't an event going on because it was Good Friday, so we could stay there. So we just parked up, we walked in, we filmed the YouTube video, we then even packed up and drove to a Walmart, so we got food in. And then we packed up for the night. We're like, right girls, it was 10 o'clock I think, so it was a good timing really
to kind of like pack up and sleep.
And we packed up and there was other RVs around. We're like, okay, so it's all right.
Well, that's what kind of confirmed it for us. There was other RVs parked in this car park right next to the huge NFL stadium. I think it's the Nissan Stadium, and I think I've got it right. The Tennessee Titans play there, and it was an incredible setting. The backdrop of Tennessee, what a spot! And we were like, there's a few more RVs, but there's a few more parks here, and we are literally a walk away from Broadway on Good Friday on a Friday night. Let's see how this goes. It was 10 p.m. and it started to just basically get really rowdy, super rowdy.
So we just packed up, drove out to a Cracker Barrel, and then there was one, and we're like, we're not going to that Cracker Barrel because it just didn't look right. And then we found another one.
We had to scoot around, and it was like 11, 12, 1 a.m. We finally got
when we were actually ready at 10 o'clock.
We found a decent Cracker Barrel, I think.
We did. We stepped all right. There was a guy sleeping with his feet out the back of his car.
Yeah, we always kind of
when you say it like that, and I realised that we were like, it's safe here. That guy's sleeping with his feet out the back of his boot. We kind of realised what situation we might have been in.
Honestly, in the Tennessee stadium car park, I think we would have been safe. I think it was fine. Nobody bothered us. And it was getting late, but car after car was turning up. And there were literally people hanging round by the cars, which were literally next to our RV, drinking, swearing, smoking, doing the usual, like it's almost pre-drinking before they go to Broadway. And we were like, we've got to get out of here. Like, we can't stay. And then I think over the RV trip, we stayed at maybe three, 4 Cracker Barrels in the time. And we just used to judge the car park by turning up and seeing if anyone else potentially was staying there. And 9 times out of 10, there would be like the odd car that's there. You can tell that they've set up for their night. But we were this like big RV parking up. But it was fine. Cracker Barrel was no issue whatsoever. We had like a few good night sleeps in Cracker Barrel car parks.
I think, like, when I think back to it, like, it is one of those things of, you have to, when we spoke about, like, the hire of the RV was really expensive, and we thought, that's it, that's our accommodation for, that's our dividing per night, that's our hotel stay. But actually, as a family, and to be really safe and to enjoy your trip, realistically, you've got to go to these campsites that you've pointed out that are family friendly, with the play area. They've even got swimming pools. Everything like that. You've got to stay there for like 3 nights, and then move on to the next location for 3 nights. And you've got to go for these campsites. These campsites, the cheapest one we stayed at was in, I'm going to say it wrong, it's a place that I always say wrong.
Arkansas.
Yes, Arkansas.
You call it Arkansas.
Yeah, well, it's because of the way it's spelled. And we stayed in a national park there, which was it was nice. And that was the cheapest place that we paid from.
Yeah.
That was $35.
$35. Yeah, I remember that one. We were quite happy with that.
Yeah.
It
was very basic.
Hot Springs National Park, which again was incredible. We'll come on to that.
It was very basic, but like these big parks that were family friendly that you go to.
The KOA ones were about 60, 70.
What was the most
we paid?
The most we paid was $120.
Was it?
Dollars.
What was that for?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Cherry Hill or something like that.
Cherry Hill was outside
and some
Washington.
Emergency ones along the way we paid quite a bit for. But the regular amount that we were paying per night was $75 to $80.
I'd say that on average that was and that's on top of your RV.
And your fuel.
And your fuel.
Yeah. So actually, it was super duper expensive.
Yes.
We didn't feel like we saw the places like we wanted to see the places. But did we have some sing-songs in the car? Did we experience the roads of America? We did.
Yes. I think if we hadn't have had the RV, I definitely wouldn't have got to experience Buc-ee's. And Buc-ee's is just something else.
But you got to do it on a road trip, right?
Yeah.
You can't just go, today we're nipping to Buggies. Oh, I'm so terrible at pronouncing things. I'm really sorry, guys, who's listening to this, because you can really hear when I cannot pronounce a word. Buc-ee's, okay. You would not go to Buc-ee's on just like, we're just going to go to Buc-ee's today. It's not that thing. It is designed basically to drive up, fuel your car up, fuel yourself up, and buy some merch along the way.
Yeah.
Like, that is what it's designed around. But whatever we are saying right now, I am telling you, if you haven't been there, your brain is not imagining how big this shop is.
No. You think that it's a fuel station or a gas station.
Which it is.
Which it is. But it is the most insane experience, like, ever. Like, I have never experienced a gas station, shop, food experience like this. It literally sold everything. These places were massive.
They were absolutely huge, and it's got a beaver's face. I don't know why there's a beaver with a cap on it, but
yeah, I don't. If you know, comment and let us know why. What's the story behind the beaver? The
beaver, and like, I don't know. And then you walk in, it's like everyone knows about Buc-ee's. Everyone knows.
Like you can see.
We went on. It was Easter break, and it was so hectic.
The Easter break one. This was like, so we must have. When did we first experience Buc-ee's? I think it was in Tennessee.
It was in Tennessee, yes.
I think it was.
I'm talking about the second time that we went to Buc-ee's because you got excited about the brisket sandwich.
The brisket sandwich was incredible.
And you wanted a hat.
Yes, and I got a Buc-ee's hat. Incredible. Just I'm smiling.
You've got a hat. You've got
now.
a hat with that damn beaver on the front.
I know. I just love that. I just love Buc-ee's. I want to go back right now. But we went during that Easter break period, and it was so busy. There was like a whole cheerleader squad
they're practicing
in the car park.
Yes.
And we were just like gawping at them driving past in the RV while all our like senses were just being overloaded with everything. It was insane. And you can really see how like there was so many RVs parked up there, so many cars, and literally families, like kids and adults, was all the same level of excitement going into Buc-ee's because they were on their holiday road trip, and it must be just a thing that you do. You go into Buc-ee's, you get your stuff before going on, and what an experience.
It is such an experience, but if I put it in like layman's terms for the UK, basically it's amazing and it's an amazing experience, but it is just somewhere where you just buy really expensive food.
Yes.
There's more drinks than you can possibly even dream of, and there's just a lot of merchandise.
You can indulge.
Yeah.
Like in the UK, we just can't comprehend what Buc-ee's is because
we could buy a swimming costume that had the beaver's face on it.
Like printed all over.
Yeah.
It. But we
Who's
just can't-
buying that?
I don't know. There'll be plenty of people. Like
I did nearly buy it, to be fair. I
bought the hat and I love my hat. But what I'm saying is that UK, we can't comprehend what Buc-ee's is because when we need to fuel our cars, we pull into a petrol station.
Hopefully a supermarket so it's loads cheaper.
Yeah, the supermarkets are cheaper. So we pull in, we fill up our cars, get a drink and a snack, and we need to get out of there. Because if we're taking too long, you're going to start getting complaints, people getting a bit moody. You've just got to get in and get out and get on your way. Buc-ee's.
Oh, and also the toilet is just an absolute no-go.
Yeah, you can't go to the toilet at a British petrol station.
Buc-ee's, they had it was a light system
like,
on the doors for going to the toilet. So they were red if someone was in it, and green
I think it was like a Disneyland toilet setup.
Yeah, it was pretty insane.
It was, but I'm saying that you go to Buc-ee's, you park up, fuel your car. There are hundreds of bays, and you can literally just leave your car there, go in, shop, grab insane food. You can indulge. That's the word. Just indulge on everything.
Yes.
They sell everything.
Right, just so we can be aware, the first time we went into Buc-ee's, we went in, they've got the slurp machine so you can get a massive ice cool Slurpee. Loads of different flavors. Like, they're just absolutely insane. We all got food, whatever we wanted, we just picked up and we just had it. And I don't know what else. I think I bought some hand cream, and we bought
a massive pack of fudge.
We did. The fudge was very good.
I don't know why we bought fudge.
Right, how much was that?
I think we spent $90.
$90. And it was all stuff that was lunch and stuff we didn't need.
That wasn't including the fuel.
Yeah.
So you pay for the gas at the fuel pump, which was a fairly reasonable price at Buc-ee's. But we then went into Buc-ee's and spent $90.
Yes, and that was on lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch.
The food was insane. The brisket, the XL brisket sandwich was incredible. If you go to Buc-ee's, you have to get the brisket sandwich. It was insane, but it's a hefty price tag for a lunch.
And I think this is just absolutely everything with America that we found, that you'd have these insane experiences, like absolute blow your mind experiences. They're phenomenal, but you're paying for it.
Yeah. And you naturally get drawn into the marketing of things. You get drawn in because it looks so good, it sounds so good, and you want more and more. And Buc-ee's was exactly like that. You just wanted stuff randomly because it was there.
You could be 270 miles away from a Buc-ee's, and there's a sign saying 270 miles until your next Buc-ee's.
Yeah. And they're literally all the way along.
Yeah, counting down until you get there.
And I think that the marketing genius of America, you just end up wanting to buy and consume everything because it looks so good, tastes so good, sounds so good. You just want it all.
Yeah.
And that's what we found. We were just spending a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think that just rounding up the RV trip and going through from there, when we were trying to be in a more of a livable situation and not spending as much, because we were just absolutely, I felt like we were hemorrhaging money. I felt like it was, we went out and it was just
at least $100 every day. comfortably.
I think more.
Comfortably. On the RV tour, way more. But when we actually arrived in Dallas, dropped the RV off, got rid of that, picked up a Jeep Compass, which we absolutely loved, what a car, and then we made our way to Houston, where we lived for the month in a house. When we finally moved there, we were still spending quite a bit on shopping and stuff like that. But the RV tour, we were spending quite a lot.
I just feel like overall, all of the American experience of all the places that we went, everything just shocked me.
It was expensive.
Yeah. And anything that we were doing, so even if I just left the house, it felt like we just could easily just spend $100 without thinking about it.
Easy. But I would say that we did notice a difference in price slightly coming from New York up in that area down into the south.
In fuel,
prices did drop a little bit.
Yeah.
In the shops as well, prices dropped a bit. But definitely, you could easily leave the house not thinking you were going to spend anything, and easily end up spending $100.
Yes.
I don't know how. It just happened.
Yes. I think that was the main thought of it. And when we arrived in Houston, we were like, right, we're going to be spending less now because we're in a livable situation. We're not in the RV.
We were next door to a Walmart, which can be relatively cheap.
Yeah. And I felt that it wasn't particularly that cheap. So the ongoing theme happened that if we were willing to spend the money, you would have this insane experience that blows your mind, meaning that you want more, and more. But if you're being tight on money, you're pretty much being really tight and living off $1 burritos.
Yeah. Like we had a couple of days where we're like, we're just going to try not to spend as much today. We're just going to have a pullback day because there's stuff that we want to do that we know is going to cost quite a lot. So we're just going to have a pullback day as a family because we're spending money for no reason. So we found that these massive pizzas in Walmart, they're like $7. They were really good and good value. So we had a few of those. And also these $1 burritos, which everyone's kind of hammered us for on TikTok when we filmed about those, about them not being so great. But we actually found they were okay.
Well, I think that's the whole situation as well. When we were trying to, in Houston, we were trying to be a bit more healthier and a bit more, livable. And when we were looking for the cheaper meals, we were eating junk.
Yeah.
Absolute junk.
Yeah,
like you were talking about cheaper. A burrito, we didn't even know what was in it, and you would be very dehydrated afterwards as well.
Tasted okay.
It tasted okay, very good.
We don't know what it was.
Give a thumbs up for it. But you couldn't have a burrito and the next day have a burrito.
No, you needed a break.
You need a break.
I think that we sort of experienced a lot. The food was incredible, but you just get drawn in, and I don't think that if we moved to America and lived there, we would really have to restrict ourselves.
It would have to be self-discipline.
Yeah,
it would really have to be self-control.
Like the fast food is everywhere. When you drive out in your car, it's literally everywhere, and it draws you in.
And if you're slightly hungry on that journey, you're swinging into a Chick-fil-A or Whataburger and you're going to have one.
You can't help it.
You can't help it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we went for 8 weeks, and when we've experienced America before, we would be on holiday.
Yeah.
And being on holiday, it's all great. You go to Buc-ee's, you go have Chick-fil-A, you go, have the ice cream.
It's a 2-week splurge.
The ice cream that costs $30 in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's a sore subject. You do those things and you've got a holiday budget. But we were there wanting to experience America.
Yeah.
And we were spending holiday money
for
8 weeks.
Yeah, we did find the day-to-day living costs pretty expensive, but we had a house in Houston, we had a car, and we wanted to generally experience the livability of America, and we did, and it was really, really good.
It was really awesome. I think, from there, we were meant to be going to Nevada.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, where we got married.
Yeah.
And we were meant to be doing some stuff there and then driving down to LA. And plans just completely changed because Spirit Airlines just closed down, which was a massive stonker for us.
They literally went bust. We had the flight from Houston to Vegas, and 3 days before we were leaving, they went bust, and the flight was lost.
And this is just I think it was quite hard for us and to decide what we were doing next with that, because we had a flight out of LA to leave the US, and we had to just work out what we were doing. And it was really hard. We had like about half a week in Houston just being like, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to get the money back. We don't know where these flights are that will just replace it, that are cheaper, because we just couldn't find the access to them. And it was quite hard for a couple of days. But then, like, we flew out to LA. We absolutely loved LA, and we had the first experiences of staying in hotels. And they were really nice, actually. And did you know that in America, this just shocks me from my experience, like, I know that you don't think about this, but there was microwaves in the hotel rooms. That was cool.
It was good.
It was cool.
And these were just like standard hotels. I think we stayed at a Courtyard and a Wyndham, and they were both fantastic. And they were the first hotels that we'd stayed in the States for this trip.
And in the UK, you do not have a microwave.
No.
And well, in a lot of places, you don't have a microwave. You might have a kettle and stuff like that.
But it was good for us because we could get our £1 burritos and just warm them straight up in the microwave.
It was really, really good. Like, I did enjoy the hotel stays, and I really enjoyed LA. And
we did the Hollywood hike up to the Hollywood sign, which was fantastic. And we went to probably one of the nicest beach areas that I've ever been to, which was Laguna Beach. And that was really nice as well.
That was really, really good. But on these things of like Houston and LA, we've done massive vlogs. So if you're more interested in those specific areas and what we experienced whilst being there, go check out our main channel, because we actually did show how, because we did a lot in Houston, actually. Quite a lot in Houston. We were there for a while. And also LA, we did quite a lot there as well. So if you want to go...
There's literally videos of our whole RV trip.
Yes. So any of this stuff that we've talked about, but you wanted more information about, just go check out the main channel, because we've actually vlogged absolutely everything except for Alabama.
So to round it up with the states, we went to that we're qualifying for New York, New Jersey, which is a separate state that I didn't seem to have a clue on that. Virginia, which when we went to Washington, D.C. Haven't even spoke about that, but I really, really liked Washington, D.C. Thought it was a really clean, nice city. Really liked it. Then from Virginia, we went to Tennessee. Then from Tennessee, that's 4. We did Alabama, but we're not including that because we didn't really do it. So we did visit, but we didn't, and we need to go back. So that's not on the list. Number 5 from Tennessee, went to Arkansas. Hot Springs was absolutely incredible. The natural hot spring there. What a place that is in the national park. Again, YouTube video is on our main channel, the Hutchinsons, if you want to go see that. We really loved that. That's 5. Number 6 from Arkansas was Texas, the mammoth Lone Star State of Texas. And then finally number 7 was California, and they're the states that we are qualifying for. We did drive to Alabama for one night, but we're not counting it.
And we through Mississippi.
We drove through Mississippi, but we gutted we didn't get to experience those other places, and we gutted that we didn't get to spend more time in those other areas that we actually did visit, because it was a flying RV trip.
Okay, so out of all of those, I know you...
Ask me the question, because I'm ready to answer.
What was your favourite state?
My favourite state is in my heart, and it's Texas, without a doubt. The Lone Star State. I loved Tennessee. Texas, something about it. When we crossed that border and those flags, the big Texas flags came, it was incredible. Okay,
what was your favourite experience that we had in the whole of America?
Well, that's an insane question.
I know.
My favourite experience in the whole of the trip.
There's
so many.
I know that you really enjoyed living out of wearing those 3 aeroplane pyjamas and emptying the toilet of the RV. I know it was your favourite thing. You got a sense of achievement.
I did definitely get a sense of achievement, but no, that was definitely not my favourite bit. There were so many.
Bass Pro Shops?
Bass Pro Shops, Buc-ee's, we've already talked about. Everything was amazing.
All the fast food.
Yeah, Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A. Everything was amazing.
You're actually dribbling right now.
I want to go back right now, but I think my favourite experience was going to see the Houston Rockets in the NBA. And I thought it was absolutely top draw. I loved it. The experience for the family. The family experience. The girls got certificates for their first NBA game at the Rockets. I got the Rockets jersey. We got like a foam finger. Olivia had a hat, and we all had Rockets merch. The big screen, the entertainment. Kevin Durant. I'm a huge Durant fan and a Rockets fan. I think we left that experience on top of the world, and we became Rockets fans from that point onwards.
I think with it, it was sort of like we booked the tickets, and actually I booked them whilst we were in Washington.
Yeah.
And Chris was actually asleep on the sofa from jet lag.
Yeah.
And I was looking at just experiences that we would want to do as a family whilst we're in Texas. And I was like, it's got to be a sporting experience.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, definitely baseball. Got to do baseball. Like Astros is there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, what can I do? Like basketball. I really want to see a basketball game.
Oh.
And I started looking at the costs. And do you know what? These tickets were only $12 each.
$12 each. We got all 5 of us $12 each.
We were high up, and I was like, I don't know what we're going to be able to see from here, because I could see like on the booking thing. I was like, I'm not sure what we're going to be able to see. I could see photos of the Toyota Center.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'm just going to book these, like, whatever. We're going to book them. $12, we'll have the experience. And I actually think, like, on the day of going, we were shattered because we just arrived from the RV into the new house.
It was like 2 days after finishing the Mammoth RV tour.
So we went to that, and we're really shattered. And I think it just blew the socks off us.
Yeah.
And, like, the food was incredible. The girls, I was concerned that Bella was going to get bored halfway through, and I was like, oh, okay. But as soon as we went in, they said, oh, there's a kids area if you want to go to a kids area. And I was like, okay, make a note of that, because I might have to take Bella there if she gets bored, because this is a whole basketball game. We've never been into basketball as a family before. You know, football we have and all of this. And I was concerned because I knew I wanted to watch and Bella might not. But the big screen being there, the chants, the way that the mascots are there, like, you cannot explain how sensory overload it is. Like, there was no way Bella was getting bored. In fact, I wanted to go check out the kids area, that I had to pull her away from the match.
Peel Bella away from all, because it's just entertainment. Non-stop. And we had to peel Bella away because we wanted to see the kids area. She got her face painted.
All included in the cost. That was all free.
Free. You could literally, there was a mini kids basketball court that you could go play basketball. It was a 10 out of 10 experience. I'm desperate to go back.
Yeah, it was so good. I must say, like from me saying, we were in Washington, and I was just there thinking of experiences that we want, a Texas experience or American experience, and to find that and book that and land on it. Like, we've even got the foam finger behind us here. If you're watching on YouTube, there is the foam finger.
We've got the Rockets foam finger on the set.
We're huge fans, and we'd love to go back, and we even managed to watch the playoffs live.
We followed them on the playoffs on the TV.
We were gutted because we couldn't get tickets to go see James
LeBron versus Durant.
It was intense. But Durant, I'm not going to go into it because
it was incredible. We could just talk about Rockets, but we also went to watch the Houston Astros. That was really good. There's a whole sports scene in America. It's insane.
It's so family friendly. So in the UK, like, we're Leeds fans, but Leeds
United, by the way.
Sorry. If we went to a football match, I'd be so concerned about the girls. And I just don't think that I think Olivia and Scarlett may be fine, but like, it's still a question of, is it for children?
I think that the football clubs, the soccer clubs in the UK, if you're watching from America, they really do try and make it family friendly and inclusive, and it is to some extent. And loads of kids go, and it's fantastic. But yes, there is an element that's not family friendly, and whereas when we went to the Rockets and the Astros, it was very family friendly.
Well, I think
it was awesome.
I think in the UK it is family friendly, but it's not at the forefront of their minds. It's just like, our children are welcome if you're bringing them. Whereas like America, it was like, this is for the kids. This is a designated thing for them. They are meant to be here. They are meant to be embracing it with you. So I definitely agree with you of that. It was something that really was.
Was that your favourite bit?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to ask you. So your favourite bit is same as me, Rockets. I think we're all like, amazing. Best state, favourite state?
I think it's going to be the same as you and say Texas. I think it had so much there. But there is so many other states that I want to go to, and you know, you've got Florida. I really want to go to.
Yep.
I want to go to Louisiana.
Want to go.
I want to go up to. I want to go to Chicago,
Illinois.
Yeah,
Chicago, Illinois. We
Boston.
want to go to Boston.
Yeah. So like, there's loads of places that we want to go to. Still,
we've got to properly go to Alabama.
Yes.
We've got to go to Mississippi properly. We can't. We haven't counted them. So we literally drove through them, but we haven't counted them. So we're going to take the 7 states.
And I think, like, looking at it realistically, we've already made a list of like 7 more to go to. So yeah, answering your question, is Texas at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat.
It is going to be hard to beat.
Okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty then. What shocked you the most? So shock factor, no holding back.
I'm not gonna talk about the money because we've spoken about the money. Yeah. That was a little bit shocking.
Expensive.
Yep. I think the most shocking thing that we haven't spoke about that much, and it feels like I don't want to speak about it because it's not nice.
Yes.
But the most shocking thing for me, we've been in loads of countries, like over 20 together as a family.
Yep.
But the most shocking thing, not in just one state, but in all of the states we went through, was the amount of homelessness.
Yes.
And that it wasn't just, these people were really desperate, and
it was really evident. There was homeless people everywhere.
I went on a run, and the homeless were absolutely everywhere.
You need to explain. No, we want the explanation of this run. So we'd arrived in Houston at this nice little house place, and we're all set up. And Tamira decided to go out for a 5K run. Okay. And she came back in from the 5K run. She looked like a ghost. Her face was white. She was shocked to the core. Talk to the audience about the experience.
Okay, the experience of this run. I always like when we travel somewhere and we're going to be set up for a while, finding the stuff around the local area, because I like to walk to places and everything. Going for a 5K run is a really good way to get a sense of where you are and you know where you're centered for the next few weeks. I'm like, right, I'm going out. I can see this green area to behind the house that I can go run around. So I was like, right, I'm out. I'm going to go for it. Need some fitness. Been stuck in the RV, not getting my steps in. So I went for it, and I soon and fast found that the area was a graveyard that I couldn't run in. So I just decided to carry on going down the road. I was like, I'll just run a little bit and then I'll run back. And then I'd like looped around, and like the area wasn't too nice.
You got into a sketchy area.
I got into a really sketchy area, and then I found like this nice like a canal or a river area, and it had a walkway and people were walking their dogs. I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm going to make a loop round. So I went on that bit, enjoyed probably about 1 kilometer of the run until I went under one of the bridges that was going across this river, and there was just homeless people there. This turtle kind of animal there. There was people asleep on
turtle.
Yeah, there was a turtle there. I don't know what it was doing.
I don't know about that. That's a new addition.
But not a turtle. Sorry, a tortoise. I get those confused. Okay. There's a tortoise there, and then I was like running, and there was people that were just on the floor asleep, like
passed
homeless.
out.
Yeah, and there was a snake just like about 2 meters away from this person that was passed out on his front, and I'm just running, just trying to loop it back to the house. And I was running holding my phone as well, and I was wearing like a nice running outfit.
You were
with my nice hockers, and I was completely out of place and panicking, and I was basically a running target for these desperate people walking past.
We had no idea of the area, whether it was safe or not, but we quickly found out that actually it's probably not the best to be running around the area. And you just came back in really shocked, quite scared.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no chance.
We better not do that. So that was one factor, but this was like all over America.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It wasn't just there. We had another instance when we were in New York, and we had a man that was shouting quite aggressively. We think it was quite towards our family as well.
Yeah.
We had it in all LA. It was everywhere too. And these people, they don't just sit there and they're like begging. You just don't know that they're kind of homeless, and they come up to you. I had someone come up to me whilst I was shopping in Walmart. And asked for me to, like, directly whilst I was trying to look at pasta prices, and asked me to buy him his lunch. And I was pretty shocked at that. And then I was sounding really stuck up saying this.
No, but it's just an observation that we didn't realise it was like that. But there is obviously a lot of homelessness in America.
And it was a massive mix of different races of people. It wasn't just one set of people.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, I think the divide just felt like you're either rich or you're really poor and you're struggling on the street.
Yeah.
That was the most shocking thing for me. I knew there was homelessness. We've been to America before. It's just like any other country, there's homelessness. We've seen it so many times. But I think I was shocked at how evident these homeless people were, how they were approaching us. Even in LA, we had them approaching us and talking to us. And it takes you a couple of minutes to work out that they were actually wanting something off you because they start a conversation. Yeah. And I think it's quite shocking and it's quite overwhelming, but it is life and it is what it is. But it is the thing that shocked me the most about America.
I think it's also being parents and having a family and children. You just automatically protective and defensive, and it's kind of like a protection factor. And that's why we were way more aware of it and more shocked.
Yes, I know that shocked you as well. But because I've taken that, you've got to choose something else that shocked you.
I've got something that shocked me a lot. And
why am I scared now? Because I feel like I don't know it.
Not, that I was really shocked with the stench of weed in both New York and California.
Okay.
I thought both of those states stank of weed. And when we got out of those states, so we were all in the deep south, you couldn't really smell weed about that much.
No, and it just came down to where it was legal in the states. So you could literally smell your way through the states.
New York, like when we've been to New York quite a few years ago, 2018, we went to New York, and it wasn't like that. Like this time, it stank of weed and it's everywhere, and it doesn't smell nice.
No,
it does not smell nice.
No. It was quite shocking because
poignant. And it's like, you're walking around, trying to take in the sights of New York, like, whoa, look at this, look at that, and it just stinks of weed.
It was a bit of a Thailand smell, isn't it?
Yeah. Some areas of Thailand stink of weed because it's been legalized.
And it was just the way it was, because we were traveling through states. You could you wouldn't smell it for one of the states, and you'd be like, you wouldn't really think about it. And then it'd be like you would arrive in a state that it was legalized. It'd be like, must be legal here then. And you could just smell it. We're just there walking around, and you would genuinely just smell it.
I'd rather not smell it. But, each to their own. But that was something I really noticed.
Yes.
And it really did change the feel of the area for me.
Yes.
So that was...
But I don't know if that's because of the way we've been brought up. Like, it isn't legal in the UK.
You do smell it around the UK, 100%.
You
different
do.
areas, like some places.
No, but this was different because when it's legal, you do actually smell it just on the street.
Yeah,
and
everywhere.
Someone that you'd expect that it to be like cigarette smell, it's actually weed. And on people, you could smell it as well. So no, I agree, that was quite shocking, and it was quite funny from state to state, because you just go, America is America, so there's one rule for that state. It made it more evident that
it was different.
There's state laws and there's different laws for different things in each state, and that was quite interesting. So I'd say I agree on the weed thing, that was shocking, but I think it made relevant how vast and how massive the United States is, that it's not just one country, that there's one governed law. It is like across.
It really does make you realise how big it is, and we did drive a long way. But all in all, the experiences we had were exceptional. Like, we absolutely loved it.
I think that the main thing from this is the big stonking question that everyone is kind of waiting for and an answer for. Would we go back to the United States?
Well, we've already said that.
No, but would it be the next thing that we do?
I honestly, if I'm fully honest, I wish we were going back for the 4th of July. I really do. For the 250th year celebrations. I want to go back for that and celebrate that. But we're literally a few days away from that, and we can't get there. So I think that we really, really want to go back. We're not sure when the best time for us to go back is. It is very expensive. It's hard for us to get there, the cost of the flights, and also it's very expensive while you're there. But it's something that we really want to work towards and get to go back for a second tour. I think that's like not a question. I'm not hesitating. I want to go back.
I think that this is something that me and you have been having loads of conversations about, and going, is our next move just going back to America and like do it as a 2.0 tour? But it is on the fact of what you've just said. It is basically down to finance of like getting there. It's a hefty amount. The flights over there are really long haul, and the time zone difference as well. And there are other places that we're wanting to go maybe in the meantime, and we keep just going round in these circles of like, oh, we should just head back. Oh no, we shouldn't head back. Oh no, well, if we leave it this long, then we might not want to go back. And like, well, I think we'll always want to go back, but it might just take the gas off the pedal of going back.
I don't know whether we'll be coming back like this year, later this year, within the next month, early next year. We don't know, but we definitely want to go back for our second tour. We want to visit as many places as we can. We absolutely loved our trip. There were some like shocking elements here and there, but there were also some real massive highs that we absolutely loved. And it's just so classic America. Like, you can't get those experiences in any other country. Like, America does things different, and I think that was the biggest takeaway. It's like, wow, we're in the States. So yes, we definitely want to come back to the USA in the future. We don't know how soon that will be, but we are really wanting to do that. So we really hope you have enjoyed this podcast episode all about the USA. As you can tell, we absolutely had an amazing time, and we can't wait to come back in the future. Leave us some comments down below if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening over on Spotify or Apple. Let us know what you thought, and if you've got any questions, anything like that, let us know. If you are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and give us a follow on the other platforms, Spotify and Apple. We will be back next week with another brand new episode, so make sure you're following along, and we will see you then.
Bye.